Okay. The music just stopped. So, everyone, I want to say welcome to It Digital. My name is Besfer, and basically, all I'm doing, my whole goal is to impact in whatever way I've impacted and influence you to live an impactful life. So, generally, when we talk about what I'm doing here, basically the focus is to generally focus on you, motivating you to find that life, that purpose, your it factor, which is that one thing that you're consistently doing and you're not even getting paid for it. It's something that makes you come alive each and every day. So generally, I just want to put this memo up here because for years and years and years, man, I've been trying my best to make my way to this very point. And that very point is speaking to you on different topics, speaking to you with my heart, being as authentic as possible, just being comfortable to know that, I can share my story. I can share my experience with people like you or just the world. And listen, I'm not looking for likes, but I do appreciate it if you like the channel. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, subscribe so we can have more in-depth conversations. And this right here is just a spark that we're generally going to have over time. So that's going to include friends, family, some valuable assets that I have locally here in the U.S., international, whether it be via government sector or a different industry, the IT health industry. And the goal of all those industries is that I want to bring them so they're able to tell their stories that will impact you eventually. So that means that if we have John up here, we have my good friend Sarah, we have my good friend, Marco, we have my good friend Chinadu, or we have my good friend from Ghana, wherever you are on the continent of Africa, and whatever you are doing, this platform is for you. And so through that, we'll be sharing some insightful stories that has impact, and so that through their stories, through their ups and their lows, you yourself, who is watching, is able to get some bits and pieces from that story and apply it to your life. So for example, we're going to tell some immigrant stories. We're going to tell some stories about the global south, the impact, the activities that is happening on the global south. We're going to talk about the freedom of Africa. We're going to talk about, religion, and sometimes we're just going to throw in some caveat based on relationship topics. So I don't want to make this podcast any boring, but I myself, my whole goal is to connect. I believe that's one of my it factor, being able to connect people, connect resource, be able to create. And so it pains me that we are consistently on the move from work to work to work without actually doing the things that we were made for. And some of you know what I'm talking about when we talk about things that you are made for. That means there's a yearn, there's a burn that is inside of you where you feel inadequate, you feel unfulfilled. You can have all the money in the world, you can be the best person, but you can be the best person, but one of the greatest thing is being able to walk in your it. And I believe if you're watching today, if you're watching me, you yourself have the it factor. The diaspora as a whole has the it factor. And the goal is, how are you going to fit the puzzle? What is that one gift that's going to take you to the next level. Are you sleeping on it? Are you working on it? And I can just sit here and just talk about that gift that you're lacking, because I myself, it's a consistent war. And recently I read a quote that whatever issues that you're facing right now, whether it be procrastination, whether it be delay, whether it be, if you're lazy, you have to tune in to the main reason why you do the things you do, because you actually might just find the answer to overcoming that and hurdling over it to become a success. So last week we talked about you can have it all, you can do it, where I motivated and spoke about the purpose that you have in you and how you can do it despite all the challenges that you face, so you can do it. And sometimes you just need to put your head down a little bit and continue to be consistent to work in that direction until you get it right and to fail fast. So today, generally, I want to motivate you again, but also, like you, I have my own issues. And one of the biggest issues, like I said earlier in this video, was to literally come down here and be able to speak to you. So and be able to have this whole setup, the camera setup, the live stream setup, which I'm still working on consistently. So I would like to invite you on this journey where we're gonna tell valuable stories. We're gonna connect the diaspora with Africa locally, who is on the continent, so that we can be able to join together and create a better bond where we are able to invest. Because, ladies and gentlemen, besides what we're doing here, everything we're doing, Africa is opening up. The global south is working. Leaders are getting some sense of cleanliness and they're fixing their issues. The continent right now has the highest population when it comes to youth, a population where the rest of the world, look at Nigeria itself, the most popular country on the continent of Africa, with what's the better word to say, massive resources and capabilities. And you can tell how and the things that they are doing around the globe. So we want to, and then also you got to go down. There's a Kenya where you have, a fight, a revolution where they are trying to push out Rutos because of an economically financed bill that tax many people on simple things like, a period pad and so forth. We're going to dive into that later on, but first we have to literally prepare for this. And I will say I'm doing my best to make some time to give you the best information possible. But what I can do right now is just to speak to you and tell you that you got it. You got the it factor. You can do it. So let's get started. One of the main words that came to my mind today was gratitude. Gratitude. And if I could be honest with you, based on my definition of what gratitude is the feeling and expression of thankfulness and appreciation for something you have received, whether it's tangible or a gift, an act of kindness, an even opportunity, or even life itself. So for example, you wake up in the morning and you say, hey, and I'm thankful to God for the life that I have. Thank you for waking me up in the morning, or thank you that I'm still healthy, I'm still breathing. Those are ways that you gratitude. Can you imagine, as a kid, some of us, I won't include myself, but some of us, or some of y'all has a way around your parents, right? So, us Africans, when we wake up in the morning, it's just a thing that we have, activities or a set schedule that we have in our household. And if you don't experience that, that's cool. But from what I know and people I talk to, mostly we have duties within the household that we do, and in certain times there's certain things that we want to do, and I think this is universal because just generally we as children or we as young adult, we tend to try to do things right, so that way whatever we ask for, we get it done. So that's gratitude right there, being able to be thankful. um, but I just lost my train of thought anyway on that one, but let's move forward. The power of gratitude, honestly, is as simple as somebody giving you something and then you're thankful for it, or somebody lending you a hand and you're thankful for it, or somebody saying, you know what, I just want to bless you today, here's $50, here's $100, or somebody taking you on a date spending $400 just for you to have a good meal, and at least saying, hey, this was a nice date, I really appreciate it, you didn't have to, but you took the time to plan and took me out. I appreciate that. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. And on top of that, having a level of action or follow up to show more appreciation or thankfulness. So in our life as we live here, one of the biggest things we need to do, we need to be thankful. Because I honestly believe being thankful is one of the things that open doors, open corridors for you, open opportunities for you, because just sometimes the simplest gesture is the simplest things that can open a door. It's the difference. It could be the difference between your next level and the difference between somebody saying, you know what, I just don't like him, or I like her better because they actually show things for. I remember back in the days, it's been a long time since I actually done a resume. I actually done, what is that, a cover letter, and then having to email the boss or whatever, saying, I appreciate the job interview. Thank you. This is what I like. I really like your company. I see myself as this, and actually, attaching a little sentence in there to, reflect on a keynote conversation, so that way they can remember. So that's what gratitude is. So we always have to be gratitude. If you're not grateful, if you're not thankful for the things that you receive, for the life that you live, why would someone else want to bless you or want to help you the next time if they know that you don't have gratitude? So anyway, let's have a little bit of gratitude.